Cutters, Degrassi, Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinions video. We've been covering a lot of subject matter. We've been covering Paige's Season 4 stuff about why she was with Mr. Olander. Why did Degrassi have to use a bus crash to further Maya's depression and all that? Why couldn't they use something else? Emma's problems with Manny in Season 6 after JT's stabbing, why Emma was justified in being mad at her. Spinner's redemption arc, was that the best redemption arc ever? I don't think a lot of people think so, but I tell you why. Peter and Emma in Season 6, it's like, why was Emma willing to be with Peter, despite the fact that Sean was not the bad guy and all that. We talked about how Emma was more of a friend to Manny than we all think she was. We all perceived Emma being a terrible friend. We also talked about Maya in Season 14, in the fact that basically, was her relationship to Miles basically one of love or just one of convenience because she needed to get rid of Cam's guilt, the guilt over Cam. And of course, we talked about a lot to do with the school shooting in Season 4. These situations, basically, why didn't the school stop Rick when they had the chance to, before he did something bad in Time 10 still? Why was Emma feeling good about Sean in Season 4? Maybe Emma wanted to be with Sean. Besides, Emma was single still and all that. We also talked about the students, why they took things out of context in Season 4 with Emma's cause and all that. I think there was one more. I can't remember if I missed one from the same area. No, I think I got them all. Yeah, I got them all. Good. But now this is another one to do with the Rick Murray situation. And basically, this is a very unpopular opinion, might be, is basically this. Snake's anger towards Raditch could be perceived as because Rick didn't get his answers from Raditch. Raditch just let Rick go on his merry way. But Snake may have had an ulterior motive, in a sense. Now, hear me out here. So, how this opinion happened, and the major opinion is that Raditch had a major grudge against Emma at the time of the shooting and all that. And basically, I don't think he ever got rid of his grudge. And me asking yourself, how would Raditch have a grudge against Emma? Was it the Orange Ribbon campaign? Actually, no. If you watch Season 2, Fight for Your Right, Emma is preparing for a GMO foods presentation with her group towards Raditch and all that. I think Ashley, I can't remember what the episode was, but Ashley says the same thing like 5 or 6 episodes earlier about some kind of genetically modified foods thing. And, it leads into that. So, of course, Emma gives a good presentation. Raditch agrees. But unfortunately, he says that because of the budgeting, we're lucky to have a cafeteria. And gives the old Canadian, I'm sorry, we just can't do it. Okay, fair enough. But Emma, in her phase of overreactionary and being triggered, basically figures that Raditch was just being stupid. She passes out flyers, which Raditch takes away, and Emma basically decides to give in and all that. But then they do that stupid cafeteria skit, and basically Emma sees red. She got triggered. I think Raditch did that on purpose. I don't know. Man, Raditch. I mean, if he only knew that Emma was going to wave the white flag, I think he would have backed off. But no. Of course, there was this food fight. Emma accidentally started it by trying to knock Toby's food away from his tray, blah, blah, blah. Opportunity knocks for students, and Raditch basically pins everything on Emma, kicking her out for the rest of the day. Emma says, why? Because your stupid flyers have done it. You're punishing me for protesting? Basically, Emma is told to be kicked to the curb. So basically, she decides to sit in on her classes. Well, Snake is not happy because Snake knows that Emma basically is supposed to be out of the school. So Snake tells Emma, you gotta leave. Emma says, I'm not leaving. He's not being fair to me. And Snake says, are you testing me or something? Emma says, I just want to do what's right. So Emma decides to protest. It's free speech. Not completely outside the school, but across the street from the school. Because Emma said that basically I'm protesting outside school grounds. So she can't get in trouble for that. But Raditch is angry. Raditch basically tells Emma to be on the video system tomorrow morning with a message. Do you apologize for everything crappy has gone on, or else you will be suspended for the rest of the week. So, of course, Emma tells Snake. Snake says that as an educator, I can't really help you. But as a parent, I'm all for it. So Emma writes down on cue cards a type of apology, gives it to Raditch. Raditch looks it over and says, I'm glad we can work this out. And so Emma's ready to make her announcement. Emma announces how she is sorry for the food fight and all that. And sorry to Sheila, the cafeteria worker. And is sorry about all the commotion she's caused. And she said that genetically modified foods is a hot button topic. You can agree with me all you want or disagree. That's fine. But basically I need to talk about free speech. I know genetically modified foods is not that well, but my cause will be free speech. And basically the school tried to silence me. Raditch looks perturbed. Emma then goes on to say the magic words, which I think led to Raditch's grudge. And if I get suspended for a week because of what I'm saying about Raditch, it's worth it. And Raditch suspended for the week. Those were the magic words why Raditch probably didn't really want to talk to Emma about all that. Maybe in season 3 when Emma falsely accuses Shawn of stealing stuff. Well, Shawn did steal the stuff, but Emma had, all that. No proof that he had this shit. I mean, when Emma did that, Shawn obviously sold it faster than you could say Superman. Yes. But maybe Raditch didn't want to talk about it. Didn't want to talk to Emma and all that. But, in Mercy Street, basically Emma stands in front of Rick saying that you're not going anywhere. And Raditch says, Emma, please move. And Emma says, we don't want him at our school. And Raditch says, this is not one of your stupid crusades. This is serious. I'm warning you. Gee, I wonder what that entails. Stupid crusades. Yep. That tells you that Raditch still has not gotten over the fact that Emma's crusades are causing trouble in his school. He's become jaded. The older you get and the more years you get in the system, and the less you actually understand your students, the more likely you're going to lash out like that. So basically, yeah. And I wouldn't put it past Raditch that maybe the Orange Ribbon campaign or the Silent campaign was basically an attack on him for that. But Raditch should have known not to open his big mouth because Emma's going to pounce on it. He is doing it to himself. He's the reason why there's a grudge. And if he stays quiet, or at least given Emma some positivity saying that, okay, I know this is bad, but he's here. I can't do anything about it. Things could have been better. Maybe Raditch would have. And as I said, Raditch should have just said to the school that Rick is back at the school because no criminal charges were pressed against him. And until further notice, he's going through therapy. He'll have to obey some things. But then, of course, everyone would have been like, well, let's criminally charge him. They could try, but the courts probably would have said something about Terry. But, Terry might have known about Rick's abuse and maybe all that. But I think Raditch would probably not want the school to know about that because then, of course, his plan foiled. All he had to do was just say to the school, he's here because there's no criminal charges. Obviously, he could reword it in such a sense that the students get it. But yeah, like I said a couple years ago, I did a Reddit post saying that, do you think that Emma was going to tell somebody about Rick's advances on her? And somebody said that basically Emma just wanted to go through the day, She knew she had Snake as an ally. She would have talked to Snake. Raditch, probably not. And for good reason. Now, of course, things got out about what happened with Rick towards Emma and all that, with Sean being the hero and all that. And then, of course, Snake blasts Raditch for not having the foresight to deal with Rick. Basically, shoot him off. He's talked to you a couple of times. Do you remember a word saying? Now, Raditch is right when he said, I have 700 students to worry about. How was I supposed to know one kid was going to overreact due to some paint? Shit, man. No. She's Raditch. So, yeah, and of course Snake goes after Raditch and all that. Now, could there be an alternative motive towards why Snake was mad at Raditch? Well, yeah, because, Snake is upset that the school didn't take Rick's thing seriously. Snake took accountability, whereas Raditch technically didn't. And also, his stepdaughter nearly died. Snake cares about Emma, whether Emma likes it or not, or you like it or not. He cares about Emma. He really does care about Emma, in a sense. One such example was in season 3 when Emma was trying to find Shane. Snake basically calmed Emma down after Emma found him in a mental institution. Basically, he explains the whole story about how Shane's parents basically didn't want Shane involved in Emma's life. And basically, Shane had an accident while taking acid at a concert. He was put in that home. Basically, the parents just want to get rid of him. And basically, yeah. And said that basically, your mom should not have lied to you. She should have told you everything. She was waiting until we were older, but it was wrong on her part. But Emma, she feels guilty about it. You should just call her. And so basically, Emma calls her on the phone, finds out Shane's there, and basically rips Shane a new one, saying that if you hurt my mom, we'll never talk again. And Shane was never mentioned again. Fuck. How can you have a guy like Shane and then all that? That's going to lead to another unpopular opinion, all that. Although, I might have to twist it into all that. Maybe I'll just do the video as a non-unpopular opinion one, just as a normal one. Yeah, I think I'll do that one, too. So, yeah, I'll probably do a Reddit post and get some results. I have a funny feeling. So, anyway, so yeah, he had another theory, too. Is that basically Snake obviously knew that Raditch was mad at Emma in season 2 for that GMO thing and basically punishing her for something she didn't really do. Snake could have, at the back of his head, basically said that, why is he attacking someone? Why does he have a grudge against somebody? Yeah, I know he had a grudge against Sean, but it was warranted because Sean stole some stuff. All that. Sean should not have been detention. Sean should have been suspended or put in police custody. But I guess because of the lack of evidence, Sean's safe. Sean. Yeah, but grudges against students ain't good. Principals are not supposed to have grudges against students and all that. I personally think that it's just stupid. And there's evidence to suggest he does have a grudge against Emma. That Mercy Street thing about Emma's crusades. Yes, that's definitely it. I think Snake obviously was mad that Raditch would actually have the gall to still be mad at Emma and maybe have a grudge against her. And who knows, maybe he would have figured that Emma would never go near Raditch with information because she figures that Raditch is basically going to blast her for everything. So yeah, I would have been surprised if Snake had basically said that, look, you fix this grudge or I walk. Basically, that could have given Snake more fuel to add on the fire to get Raditch eliminated from Degrassi. But, the aftermath, basically, him ignoring Rick and all that, and the aftermath led to it. That was the last straw. I think they basically let Raditch get away with a lot of stuff, but then basically, the school board may have had something. I think the school board basically had to pay a price towards Rick's parents or something like that, despite Rick's parents basically maybe getting nothing positive from the police saying that your son's a school shooter, you don't get anything. But you got to remember, there is a bias because this is 2004 when it came out. 16 years later, things could have been a whole lot different. So, in my mind, I think Raditch still had a grudge against Emma. All that. And who knows, maybe he would have, after the Orange Ribbon campaign, maybe he probably didn't want to hear anything from Emma saying that, you try to undermine me again. What is wrong with you? You don't undermine my authority. And Emma probably would have said, this was not about undermining your authority. This was to get rid of Rick. And Raditch would have said, of course this was to get rid of Rick. Because you couldn't handle him being at the school. And who knows, maybe Emma probably would have said, well, it wasn't all my idea. I mean, Paige and her clique basically forced me to hate Rick, to not be near Rick because of the domestic violence thing. Emma could have probably outed Paige and her clique. Because remember, Emma at that time didn't really have friends, except for Toby, possibly. But, like, Emma probably could have said this stuff, saying that, you know, I have nothing to lose. I might as well squeal on Paige and her clique and see how they like it. I think Emma was probably going to attack Paige's clique and all that. He thinks that's what was going to happen. So yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes, I mean, grudges can be good, but that was bad. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that, well, I don't know who would have testified at a hearing for Raditch. Emma probably could have, and Emma probably could have just lashed out at Raditch and all that. And Raditch couldn't get revenge on her because that would have been the last straw. I mean, obviously, Raditch didn't play his hand that way because if he did, then he would have not just lost his principal's job. He would have been as a teacher. He wouldn't be a staff member. He would have been fired outright. He was just assigned to another school. And we never got to know what happened. But I think a lot of people probably think that, you know, he was upset. He took his lumps and basically was an English teacher again. But I don't think so. I think he basically tried as he might. He may have taken this demotion for something, and then basically, you know, he thought that I just can't do it anymore, and basically probably had the grudge against the school board that they would demote him and all that. I mean, he probably could have said something to the school board saying that you're just making me a scapegoat and all that. But he could have lost his job then. Remember, in 2004, things were different with how the school boards work. All that. Well, anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I think Raditch probably didn't think that he could do the demotion and basically left for California and do chop, cut, rebuild. You never know. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and there'll be a new one coming up.